And hello again. Hello,
Hey,
hello.
hey.
What's up?
Okay, first of all, is it me or do I look like really washed out? See, look at that.
Change your light.
Yeah,
I think it might be a lighting.
Let me change my light. Hold on. Let me first of all get out the dark. This is me and my shoes today. I had to figure
Okay,
this
go
out.
back to the you
other
sure?
one.
Go back to the other one.
Hold on. Let me change the. Let me warm it up.
That's better.
Okay,
There we go.
I feel better. Okay, how y'all doing?
Hey.
Pretty good.
Hump day.
Guys, how was your Tuesday?
Girl, it's Wednesday.
She asked how Tuesday was.
Right?
When you see her?
Oh, okay.
Because I ain't see you Tuesday. So how was your Tuesday?
Child.
Okay.
Tuesday was
It was
Tuesday.
right.
We almost to the weekend. Hallelujah.
It is. I was busy, I'm gonna have to give you guys my cell phone number because I don't check this all the time. I don't have notifications. So it'll be like, Andrea, get in here. Because it never fails. Like right at time. That's when I get up. I guess it's like muscle memory. But I had a good Tuesday. Who, Lord? I spent 2 hours in the grocery store. I love grocery shopping, but Jesus.
Oh God, I need to send you to the grocery store.
I will absolutely be your free shipped. I promise you. Like Cash App me, send me your list, and I'm gonna get you the good stuff without like getting the expensive stuff. Girl, I love grocery shopping. So then I came home and had to pull it all up and cook. So, oh Lord, okay,
That is a lot. But you know what?
it's a lot.
Y'all, I went to Aldi. Y'all know how much we talk about Aldi.
It's on my
I've never been to Aldi's.
7:30.
Oh my God.
I've never shopped at Aldi's.
Oh my God.
I'm sorry. What?
You never shopped at Aldi's.
What?
Baby, you in the wrong place.
Yes.
And let me tell you, and I used to live at Summer and Graham.
What?
And I've never shopped at Aldi's.
I'm trying to decide if I want to get up early in the morning and not go to sleep so I can go to the new one tomorrow.
See? That's why I'm over here
I want to
trying
go
to
to the new one tomorrow too, but I will be at work. I didn't realize going to the new one until going at 9 o'clock in the morning. I'd be at the work.
Oh wow!
I'm gonna get my outfit laid out.
That's a whole 45-minute drive for me.
The new Aldi is the new club.
It's in Lakeland.
Yeah, that's like 45 minutes for me.
Oh, that's up the street.
Oh, that's out there. That's out. Is that out by Eads?
Go.
That's out by Eads, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna map this out tonight then, because I'm gonna go get up.
I need y'all to take
What they
pictures.
talking about? See if they got some of them candles.
Please let me know because Saturday I'll venture out. I just ain't gonna be able to make it tomorrow.
I'm excited
When I
about
saw the time. I was like, Lord Jesus, I might cash app you. Let me know. Look,
Wait.
Right.
I see my new white
I'm not
gun.
taking pictures and be live up in there in the group. Like,
I need to cash that too. Because I need
So
a
I promise you I'll do this. Like, I love grocery shopping. I purposely undershop every trip so I can go back in another 2 or 3 days.
baby, I hate it.
so we
I
already
shop.
what your ministry gonna be to the group.
I got you.
Yeah. I'm gonna lay all the coupons out.
Okay.
You shop.
Okay.
Somebody else got to do some other stuff. We just gonna tell everybody.
If you send them to me electronically, that's a little bit better. I need them electronically.
Okay, then.
Okay.
Well, now the thing about it is when you talk about couponing, you got to have paper coupons so you can stack.
I've never couponed a lot. I have a little bit. No, I had, not a lot, but you have a much larger family.
It's I was couponing when I had one baby.
Yeah, and I can't buy in bulk. It is humanly impossible. Like Costco, don't do it.
Okay, we're gonna talk about that in the after show, y'all. This could be a show in itself.
This how we end up talking too long. When y'all ever notice we go over when I'm on?
Okay, so we're already 10 minutes in, so we're gonna hit it and quit it tonight because let's really talk about Love and Marriage Huntsville. This was Saturday night's episode. Honestly, and I don't know how y'all felt, but this episode really didn't, really serve us much of anything. It's kind of like tying it up, getting closer and closer to the end of the season. I just felt like it was a filler type of episode. The only thing that I came away from it is to actually talk about the differences between the two moms that we saw in the episodes. And I want to kind of get into that, but let's just go ahead and get down this list real quick and just, kind of weigh in. And then, we'll talk about some of those other little things. So the episode opens up with Maurice and Marceau discussing Marceau's accident and how, he done tow up them Mercedes. And then also they started to talk a little bit about the camping trip and where, Maurice was saying, well, Martell kind of opened up and, he's going to really need the support of his brother or his friend or whatever you want to call them. And they had a little bit of a discussion, but what I found funny was Maurice was not willing to discuss all of the things that Martell shared at the camping trip. And he basically told him, if you want to know what exactly he
should boy
have the conversation with him. So let's talk a little bit about that.
At this moment, I fell asleep on the show.
So just listen, it's fine.
Just chime in, if something sticks out.
You don't know what to say. It's pretty much the same.
I went right on to sleep, girl.
Baby, I had to rewatch it again. I didn't take and notes. Nobody's notes.
I don't think
I had to watch it.
Oh my God, I'm crying.
I didn't even remember the episode, so
right.
That's what it is. Your outline kind of brought some things back for me because I had to look at. I was like, oh yeah, that did happen, because I forgot, and I watched it twice. That's what's sad about this whole conversation.
That's what That's why I go ahead. That's why I told you I have my little notebooks here. These are my little notebooks, and I keep all my notes in here for each episode so that either I'm going to keep these and make a journal or I'm going to just throw them all away and make a bonfire. I hadn't figured out what I'm going to do yet. So,
I want to come to the bonfire.
Right.
Yeah, because see, like I have all these little booklets, and every week, once I fill them up, then I just go to the next book. And that's how I keep my notes. So that's where we are. And that's why I was saying, I had to watch it a couple of times. That's why I was telling you I couldn't get it together today because the episode was just kind of like,
blah.
It's like Owen said, we just need to put some new stuff out this week.
Maybe that's what it is. I watched it. I just truly don't remember because I really thought I did.
Yeah. That's what it was. We felt the same way about Bell Collective. Like, you just,
I mean,
yeah.
Is it over yet?
Is it much further, Papa Smurf?
Right.
It's almost there. You see it over there, the promised land. It's way over there. So
we almost stepping into the light. Yes.
Yeah. I feel it, just a little sunlight on my face. In the words of the weekend, I feel it coming. So
she crazy.
Anyway. So Maurice decided to keep it to himself about the news, or just really the confirmation that there was a baby coming. He really wanted him to talk to, he's like, I'm like Fort Knox over here. I don't tell nobody business. So if he want to know, he can go find out on his own. So I felt like that was appropriate. I think I would have done the same thing because I don't think it's necessary to, rehash stuff, even though they brothers. So I'm like, I don't know, because I'm kind of in the middle of that, So I think that because they all hung out together, I think it would have been okay for him to share. But then on the other side of it, I guess when a camera in your face, you kind of think, maybe not.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking that because that was his brother, and he would have been there anyway, that he would have said something. But the fact that he didn't, also made me think about the fact that Marceau and Martell have been at each other's throats. So I kind of felt like Maurice was just like, if you found out directly from him, because I'm not going to be in the middle of y'all garbage. So I kind of felt like that was another reason why he was just like, yeah, no.
And he hasn't been in the middle of the garbage.
I don't know.
Reese and Kimmy are the least
neutral,
messy of anybody.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I can see him like pulling away from that. The same way Kimmy says, okay, she knows the art of okay and just leaving a conversation. I think from what you're saying, that's probably maybe how Reese, reacted to it and was like, he's gonna find out anyway, and I don't want to hear my brother go off. So,
because when he brought up the fact that, so he talked about kids and he was like, so how many kids are we talking? And he was like, his kids, like we ain't counting
Father Abraham.
Father Abraham.
Yeah, Father Abraham.
Again, Marceau has given me comedy gold this part of this season. This man has been hilarious. You are not doing a dance move.
You cannot say anything about a song in front of me. I'm that person who can sing a song based on the last thing that you said. So yeah, I'm sorry. I'm gonna go up, Karen.
It's okay. No.
I love y'all.
Foot, left foot,
Lord.
Anyway,
I have a few good friends who.
That's why we can't stay on topic.
No, I have a few good friends who call me the biggest 4-year-old. Like legit, when Finding Nemo today, if Finding Nemo comes on, and it's like on at the house, move your kids out of the way.
You're the first one.
Move your kids out the way, and they need to be quiet because I'm watching Nemo, and I'm going to recite every line.
Yeah,
I'm going to be obnoxious.
I watched Disney films before I had kids.
Yes.
Big grown up. I went to the movie theaters and watched I ain't wait till they came out on VHS. I'm telling my age.
Mm-hmm.
I went to the actual movie theater. Like, what you going to see? I'm going to go see Mulan. You going to see
Toy Story or whatever?
I'm going to go see. Yes,
I need you to keep your 4-year-old quiet.
They are for adults, though.
They really are.
They are. They're for both. They're very smartly. I think that's why I like them. They're so smartly done. Anyway, smart, unlike Martell. See what I did there? Go ahead.
Look at that. Coming on back over to the water. Come in the water. Come on. Listen. So yeah, I can see that, Maurice wants to stay neutral in a sense. But at the same time, oh my goodness. Y'all pray for Marley's strength because she gonna. But
be the baby.
I don't know if y'all can hear her.
We can't hear her.
I can't hear her.
She takes off in a full sprint every time I go live.
We know where she is because of how your eyes dart, but we can't hear her.
Yeah. Yep. That's her. She's screaming and she's like, "No, I don't like you. Put me down." Okay. But anyway,
you have excellent microphones because we don't hear any of that.
That noise reduction that I don't pay all this money for this Rode mic here. But anyway, product placement. Anyway,
God, my jaw is wide. Good God.
Yeah, because she is losing her mind up there. So, and I'm glad y'all can't hear it. So anyway, just moving on. Melody has the children. She's talking to them about their hair and how, hair is different textures and everything. She's really seeming like she's trying to instill in them that, the texture is not a thing, or well, it is a thing, but to embrace what they have on their hair. And there's no two people who have the same texture of hair, all this kind of things, so I feel as though, she's really amping that up after hearing about that whole thing that Wanda did on Instagram. Talking about the children gonna be arguing over who hair is longer and things like that. So I think Martell and Melody really took that the Instagram post that Wanda did as she was saying that, you know, maybe taking a dig at their kids and their hair versus Marceau and Tisha's kids. So, you know, she ended up having a conversation with Tisha, trying to just say, can we agree that your mama should not be talking about the children online? And of course, in Tisha form, what? I don't know that don't sound like my mama. I'm like, Heifer, that thing is messy. You know anything anybody say about your mom, you need to believe it.
Right.
And you know, I am not a Wanda apologist, but after, and I think it was something that we did backstage and put the live in there, and I listened to it. She was not talking about the children. She came up with a situation that could happen between little people. You know, look at you, look at your hair. She did not specify, as I recall from watching it, whether, you know, the Hope children or the Scott children.
Let me say this.
That conversation was about taking them.
It was about taking the kids to the birthday party, though. To the Hope's birthday, for the baby's birthday party.
Their children.
Right.
Wait, say that again? I can't hear both of you.
I'm sorry. She was referring to taking their kids, Tisha and Marceau's kids, to the Hope's kids party.
Right.
So what she was saying was, no, you don't need to take, because they have been and fell out because the parents fell out, and then she started comparing the hair and all that other stuff.
That's not how I heard it. I remember all of that, but that's not how I heard it. She did. She said the kids are going to end up being at odds, as the parents are. They're going to get into things like whose hair is better. She never said, from what she never said, whether the Hope children said that or whether the Scott children would have, I won't say will say, but you know, that she was alluding to down the line if the kids were to have like a rift or whatever. She never said that. She was giving an example of things that little people or people in general get into.
I got that part. Yeah.
But she was not talking about the whole children. She was talking about the children. All of them.
Right. Now,
and the way that she said it, either one of them could have said that. She was not talking about the whole children. And I am not a Wanda apologist.
And I agree with that, because what I wanted them to really pull out, and let's just say that right now Martell and Melody are super sensitive to everything right now, because their entire life
I agree with
out
that
there on social media. She said she didn't say whose hair is better. She's particularly said longer, but I get your point. But so the thing that I was saying is that Wanda is an irritant.
Yeah.
So there are some things that she just don't need to comment on, period.
I'll agree with that, because when it comes out of her mouth, you're going to think the negative, because of her history.
Right, because
and I get that.
Her whole vibe is y'all down with the Holtz. Are you doing this? You know, everything is about, you know, putting down one family for the other. And sometimes it's best that you just don't say anything and don't address anything. But and that's the thing, like when you start mentioning things like hair and everything, it almost feels as though this conversation has come up before. And so even though she didn't specifically say anything about those children, I feel like this has been a conversation that they've had behind closed doors. And this was just her putting a little bit of an exclamation point on a conversation that, you know, was said in the past or something like that. But just to me, knowing Wanda and how she has appeared and how she is characterized on this show, I can't take that anything that she does say is just a flippant comment. I feel like there's always an ulterior motive, and that, you know, she's trying to garner some type of, not necessarily publicity, but just some type of
Some type of response or reaction.
Then
Yeah.
when it's gone back to, hey, this really, you really suck for this, then she can go and backpedal into, well, I actually never said their names, or I never actually said this particular thing. So I just think you have to, she has proven before that she ain't nobody friend but her own, and not even her own child.
Right.
I see
So I think that's where I am with that statement.
And I just don't feel, the hair thing wasn't the hair thing for me. It was the kids shouldn't have went to the party. The kids went to the party, so they went to the damn party. Like, that's not your
friends,
business.
though. The kids were friends,
and the kids are friends. The adults over here acting like a fool, and the kids love each other. So all of that was unnecessary. You are old, 50-something-year-old woman. You need to stay out of the children's business and mind the business. Your husband and your boyfriend over there in Bessemer or Birmingham or wherever you claim you from.
You so slick shady.
I'm just saying. I'm just keep your business where it is. Or get out there, yeah. What she do? She got a boyfriend. That's what she said.
Just both worlds. Don't be playing with one.
I'm playing with one. She got a husband and a boyfriend. I can't get one, but she got a husband and a boyfriend. Okay.
Baby, she the player president. Don't even play.
It's
She the player president.
I can see you point the gun and shoot it, and I can know that you did it. But if Wanda's standing there, I'm gonna blame her. That's just how she comes off. And you can do it. No,
we already know if she does, she has something to do with it.
That's how she has planted herself. The chick
is.
I don't give a damn. I'll put none past her. She made you do it. She the reason you pulled the trigger.
I got a jab too.
Even y'all know she's the reason you did. And so, as we go through these things, like about me, I'm always the one that gives people the benefit of the doubt. I'm always like, well, they had a bad day, and that's not what they meant. And I'm very linear, so I will break down what they said and be like, nope. Can you prove that she meant that in a court of law? That's how I look at things. Yeah. If you can't be on the witness stand and a jury be swayed by your opinion, that's literally how I think about it. But I get you though. Because Wanda, she sets herself up for that. She does.
Yeah.
I
have your say with us because I go totally off of intuition for everything. I be like, I got a feeling. And you're that's so different. The differences between all of us because you're like interpreting the law as written, and meanwhile I'm over here consulting. Let me pull a card. Wait a minute.
Now, what did they mean? What did they say? So yeah. But again, I'm not a one apologist because but what you were saying about the reaction from the host was so visceral. It makes you wonder, was something like this said before? Why did they react so boldly to that? And then that makes me go, oh wait, yeah, maybe she probably did. I don't put it past her, so I get it. Yeah.
You got to also remember somebody like Wanda is going to take their wins where they can, and so if having longer hair or particularly more palatable.
Wanda has really long hair under those curls.
And that's the thing. The one thing I think that they hold certain things in regard. I'm about reading
under the Gorilla Glue.
Say what?
Under there, baby. Under there. Got that Aquanet. That's that fresh Aquanet.
Yeah. Hairstyles. I don't know what to do, baby. You seen one Cardi B video and you just gonna run with it.
Baby, she was Cardi B before Cardi B. You gotta understand.
She been doing that.
Yeah, she just never stopped from the 90s. So
80s.
Okay,
you're being generous, sis.
I was trying to help her a little bit.
Using your words. I see what
you're doing today. We are not riding on our chariots and helping anybody today. So,
okay. I got it. I'm on board now. I'm on board.
Look, that's me too. I've been trying to help folks. They be like, no.
Help here.
Okay, y'all. So let's go over to this conversation real quick. So again, she calls She basically said, Martell, you know, of course he's going to go in about his kids. I don't feel like he approached it the right way. However, you know, this stuff about the kids when it comes to Wanda has to stop. So let me try a different approach and let me talk to Tisha. Tisha, of course, does what she does best, which is dismiss everything about her mama and you know, starts to point fingers about everyone else. And then the midst of all of this, she decides to invite her to this event that she was gonna have. And you know, it's all about brown girls and you know, celebrating being, you know, darker skinned girls or you know, black girls with you know, hair and all these types of things. And she says, well, you know, I can text you and Martell the information. She said, well, no, since it's an all girl event, then you know, it's no need to text her. I can bring the girls. Right. Well, you know, if you want to drop them off. And she like, girl, hell no. You know, that's really what she said. She was like, no, ma'am, I will not be dropping them off. So we'll be there. Send me the invitation. Baby, I was like, listen, I don't know why you would invite someone to something you don't want them to come to.
Right.
Especially involving their kids.
Y'all see me about to make an excuse and I held it.
My kids.
Come on.
If I can't come
about it. That is why this discussion is here.
As I recall, and this is how I sleep on.
Oh, did she freeze?
Why she do this? She do this to us.
What I do?
You froze.
Okay, there we go. I was like, you finna cut out again. You finna do it to us.
This Chromebook. Oh, probably it's been 40 minutes. This Chromebook, you know, it just does its own thing. But okay, let me ask something before I say what I say, so I make sure. Tisha said that to Martell, correct?
She said that to Melody.
Okay, that's where I was thinking. I was thinking she said it to Martell as a man who's like, oh, drop the girls off at a girls event that you don't want to.
No.
But
she did mention, let me say this, she did mention that Martell will drop the kids off over to their house. And that was something that Melody was unaware of. Now, she did mention that, so she figured Melody was going to do the same thing. But if this is about brown girls, why would Melody not want to come to the event? Especially with my kids there, and I want my kids to,
to know of themselves in a certain way. I got you.
Event. You talking about event.
So you got an
event. No, that's our next shirt, y'all. Event.
God. So that to me that didn't make sense. Why invite my kids? No, I'm not dropping my children, my 7 and my 8-year-old and the 5-year-old out.
Right.
I ain't gonna do that.
For sure.
Right. So you know,
I agree.
To me, it's like these backhanded invites. Like it's like I want you to come, but not really. So, you know, for me, I feel like if you don't want her there, just simply don't invite her. But as Melody said, this tacky invitation that she said,
because it was tacky.
It's very tacky. It was very tackily done.
Some details. You could drop the kids off.
No, I didn't say
tackily done. That was me.
Sometimes you have to call things tackily to express how bad it was. So I'm with her on that. I do that. Sometimes their grammar and diction can be horrid on that show, but I'm gonna take tackily.
Tackily. That's actually my.
I told you I fell asleep.
Yeah, that's my invitation or what do you call it? Yep. Donation to the show.
Contribution. That's the word.
Yeah.
No, I'm donating. I ain't even contributing.
Donating.
Dropping it off.
Donation.
Contributing, you gotta stay.
Yeah. I'm just donating. I'm out. So anyway, let's go on over here where Tisha's finally back home. I don't really know what kind of school I didn't know that she was in like school again. But anyway,
she's trying to get her
master's degree, I thought. Yeah.
At Auburn.
So it requires her to be
for her
on campus so much time.
Says, well, as she talks, she says that she's a different type of learner. So she needs to be in person to learn.
Okay.
So there's a lot of back and forth. So, she's coming home, talking to Marceau. Marceau tells her that Wanda took the kids home. I guess after Wanda found out that he was in a car accident, she just went on, brought the kids on home while he's repairing. She wants to know what actually happened when it came to the accident. I'm like, I'm pretty sure y'all had this on the phone conversation. However, I'll entertain it. So he said it's pretty much a couple of cars got, he was in the middle of a car accident. So some car hit him and he hit another car, which caused that to happen. But he also decided that this accident, kind of, makes him have like insight as to what he needs to be doing, being, more, as he say, impactful in his life. They talk a little bit about the fact that Wanda does not respect boundaries when it comes to certain things. Of course, Tisha can't see nothing right. Like her mama can't do no wrong in her eyes. He also calls Wanda a bully, and she said, "How can you call her a bully and you a bully?" I'm like, take one to know one, duh. Right. So, there's a lot that happened in that scene. And then also at the end of the scene, you see that Wanda walks in with about 35 children. And so it's like she just rounded up kids from the neighborhood. Like, come on.
I just got one question.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody else parents just walk in their house? Just walking.
Not and not even on these shows.
Not ring a doorbell, but nothing. Just walks in they. My mama don't do that.
Mm-mm.
I don't think she would if she could, because even I got keys to all the doors at her house, and I still knock or ring the doorbell when I get there.
Yeah. So you can
prepare yourself for me to enter, even if I'm coming in with a key.
Right. Because that's the proper thing to do. That's what happens when you.
I'm sorry. A question about Tisha to Wanda. Do you ladies think that she's always making excuses for her because she needs to like make sure it's always good if she ever has to go back?
I think that they are in a codependent relationship.
Yeah.
And I think that what the issue
knows. I'm sorry, what somebody said a few minutes ago, why is she always like making excuses? To me, when you make an excuse for, I don't know, she knows her mom is wrong. She knows her mom is wrong, but she is always going to defend her because she needs her in her corner. And I guess that goes to the codependent. So she knows her mom is wrong, but they're in the habit of defending each other.
Yeah.
When they're wrong. And so now
they enable the behavior.
They don't know what to do.
But think about this, and this is something that is funny that we're talking about this, because I was just talking to my client about this. I'm like, if you never acknowledge what this person has done to you, and that every action that they have has the reaction on your life, like you get in like all these little, every action has an equal and opposite reaction, right? We know that. But what happens is if your action causes a reaction in my life, then I can't ride with you anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Because if every time you do something, it impacts me negatively, then I need to be able to separate myself from you so that I can make my own decisions and impact my own life in the way that I want it to be impacted. And the problem with people who are codependent / enablers is that they are so comfortable with that level of energy that they share that they can't see themselves living outside of that, because that's what's scary. It's more scary to think about the unknown of what life would be like if I didn't have to apologize for you all the time than to actually realize that you are dealing every day in an abusive type relationship. Right. This person knows that they can take it all the way up here and you're going to keep accepting it. Yeah. And that's your comfort zone. So, once you start to realize that this doesn't work anymore, and like Marceau said, she gonna keep on until you don't have a marriage anymore. Yep. And that's the thing. believe that that's going to happen either, because as you see, every time somebody pulls up the fact that things could happen to her, she's like, well, it's never happened in my marriage. Like it couldn't happen. Not saying that it has happened, but it could happen. Everyone has the could. Everyone has that thing. This could be a thing in your marriage. But even though it's not, we happy for you, but it could be a thing.
Right.
And that's what you have to really start looking at. But she, for her, this is what she does. This is what she's used to. This is what she's accustomed to. And she's been making excuses for her mom her whole life.
Right. She has.
And I'm pretty sure that Wanda also, when she was younger, used to probably use the, well, I'm a teenage parent excuse for everything.
Yeah. She probably did.
So look at all those other things, feeling like you're a burden because your mom had to give up her childhood and all that kind of stuff. So there are so many layers to their relationship.
I just don't like it. I'm sorry.
I'm not a fan of Wanda either.
There's no.
And when I think about all the other little, when I think about all the little ratchet shows that I watch, every time there's a mom involved, it's some drama. Mama Joyce, Mama D, Mandisi's mama. It's always some type of toxic situation. It's like they're always battling whoever they're dating, or they're always battling, the baby's mom or the this or the that. It's just kind of crazy. That relationship. And I think they feel like I feel like they all go and watch the previous mama to see how they acted on the shows. Like, let me try to one up this heifer.
Right.
I feel that way.
And now,
look at what's her name, Candy's mom.
Yep.
Candy Burns' mom.
Weren't they both teenage moms?
She was asking for a beat.
Huh? You said what?
How old was Candy's mom when she had Candy? Did we know? Was she a mom?
Not really sure, but a lot of them who were like with Candy's mom, she was totally invested in her career because Candy started out in her music career,
they were teenagers when they started.
She was kind of involved with all that, and a lot of those times when you don't get to a point where you back that parent up, like you can't be my momager anymore. I just need you to be my mother. Which is, why I look at like Usher and his mom's, situation. Once he got to a certain age, they had to part ways as business partners so that he could grow up.
I think that had something to do with it too, but I digress.
That too. But you got to also think about it. You got to give your child room to make whatever mistakes they're going to make. But if you're always hands-on and everything, they're not going to find out that maybe you did have their best interest at heart. Let them come to that decision on their own, and then y'all can always rebuild just your
relationship.
And that's all that really matters. But a lot of people get stuck into that. I just want to be, have my hand in every part. And then you do have to look at what they feel like they sacrificed in order for that person to be in the position they're in.
But
so they kind of feel like
looking at Wanda and Tisha, is that Tisha's job to clean up that mess for her mother, or does her mother need to go figure out a way to clean that mess up for herself instead of introducing her into her life every chance she gets? Like, go figure out what's got you so heated. Go figure out what makes you feel like you need to always be involved in what your daughter has going on. Clean that up and then come back and try to have a better relationship with your daughter. Because I would wish for me and my daughter that I wouldn't be so wrapped up in her life that, one, I can't live my own, and then two, that I'm always causing some kind of harm or friction in hers. You see what I'm saying? Right. Like, clean your mess up.
You care about your daughter and you are compassionate.
That's what I want for, but you know what I'm saying? That's what I want for Wanda to do. Like, you see this season, you see how it's going, you see what kind of mess you cause. Even if you can't recognize it, even if somebody has to point it out to you, come to a point in yourself where you realize you need to do some reevaluation and you need to take a step back and let her live whatever life she gonna live, however it's gonna come out, whether she's gonna be married or not be married, whether she's gonna be, you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Yeah,
Let her do that.
I think it's too late for Wanda, but I totally get what you're saying.
Maybe it ain't too late to know. I don't believe in old dogs can't learn new tricks. I don't believe in
It's
it.
gonna take a willingness for her to do some self-reflection.
Yeah.
She refused to look in that mirror. I kind of feel like it's one of those misery loves company situations.
Mhm.
It doesn't matter to her that that's her daughter. It's like, this has been this is it, you know. And it's like I feel like sometimes she often picks with Marceau on purpose because she knows that it pisses him off. She knows this is going to cause a rift because there is no way that you going to walk in this man's house and act the way that you act and thinking he's not going to say nothing to you about it. And for you to be okay with the fact that your daughter has to live with that, something wrong with you. So I really feel like it's a misery loves company because if she really got this husband and this boyfriend, her ass she should be pretty goddamn busy. So how you got so much time to be in everybody else's shit and you ain't taking care of your own? It's a problem with that.
Right.
Yeah. Let me.
If I got a husband and a boyfriend, I ain't gonna have none of y'all.
I'm sure they're gonna mic me up if I got a boyfriend and a husband.
Okay.
But
and she mic'd up for what, 2 seasons?
For 2 seasons, right? Like you ain't gonna be in all that. Let me offer y'all this term again. We talked about this when we were talking about some other people. The emotional spouse.
Yeah.
Again, when you're talking about people growing up with, you know, a lot of times when you are, when these type of relationships, they have turned their child into their emotional spouse.
Right.
So some way they feel like you owe me this. We were a package deal. You're supposed to do this. Since you arrived and I had to give up my childhood, you must do this in order to make me whole as well.
Did y'all see the post that I made yesterday on my Facebook page?
No, what you put? Hold on.
Yeah, go to my page. Go to my page and put it up there. You'll know it when you see it. It's exactly what you're talking about, and that's exactly what I meant when I put it up there. It's in black and white. It's a black and white poster.
The one about the teenage daddy?
Mm-hmm. The teenage sons. Mm-hmm.
Hold on. Let me see if I can share this real quick. Y'all know I be trying to clean up my page before I share. Like y'all don't need to see all of that. That's terrible. Let me share that to the screen, to the stream. It says some women need to let that teenage boy go live with his daddy, but y'all not ready for that conversation.
Oh, I had that conversation with a friend.
And that's why I said some, but I see some moms, not all, some moms having that emotional spouse relationship with their son.
Right.
And again, I'm like a forward thinker. I'm like, God help the young lady that man meets one day.
Absolutely.
Right. God help that girl.
You don't stand a chance. You cannot stand a chance.
No.
Let me be completely honest too. We say this about single parents, but I see married parents. Relationship with whatever child, and they really focus in on strengthening that relationship and fortifying that relationship, but that there's no other relationship that matters. No. And then what happens is when that child
nothing.
Yeah, there's nothing.
And that's what I meant by my post, like honing in on that. I'm like, y'all,
that because I've seen it a lot. I've seen a lot with people where, you know, it may be a mother and daughter, and it may be she may be an only child, and she's like, I can't wait till she turns this age so we can go drinking. And I'm like, but why? Right. I don't want to do nothing with my child that has to do with being out there in these streets. Like, we can have fun, we can do some things, but that's not the relationship I want to have. Or people coming to their child and sharing grown folk information, or allowing them to be privy to grown folk information, you know, as they're your child. This is not your bestie. I mean, it could be, but I don't need your child to know, you know, what happened in my life like that.
Right.
And
right.
inappropriate types of things. Like you have to set boundaries.
Yeah,
And that's why I was glad.
Information.
Yeah, like
No.
that's why I was glad that Marceau said, Wanda does not respect boundaries, because that's a real conversation that needs to happen. She said, right, I don't even want to watch TV with please watch TV in another room. I'm not going to curtail my my language. I'm not going to change my TV show. Like there's time for us, and then there's time for you, and then there's time for me. So, I'm very specific about what I share with my children. I'm very specific about not allowing them to be part of the conversation. I don't care. And my 22-year-old can't come in here and post up on this couch and have a conversation while I'm talking to y'all, because that's inappropriate to me.
Yeah. My son didn't even want to. Yeah. My son came to visit me, him and his girlfriend, in December, maybe early January. And we went to a cigar bar and we're smoking, and, there are a few other people there. It's not a really big place. There was literally like maybe 6 or 7 people there. But Cards Against Humanity came out. Mm-hmm. And I'd never played it before. And if you've ever played that, it can get really raunchy. I was wholly uncomfortable. I literally said, I cannot play this game. My son is sitting right next to me. You know what I mean? And he's 27 years old, a grown man, and I was uncomfortable. I was like, yeah, there's certain things I'm not going to still do and say, in front of them, because they're always going to be the babies, but I'm not going to baby them.
Right.
Exactly.
How about this? I was 27 when I got pregnant with my son, right?
Oh, wow.
So when I told my mother that I was pregnant, she was like, I didn't even know you was having sex. Like, I'm going to be like, man, let me tell you what I did last night. So,
right. I'm not coming to you with all those details.
It's the line that you don't cross. It's okay to be friendly with your children, because you want to have that relationship with them where they feel comfortable with speaking to you about different things. But it's a difference between being friendly and being their friend. Yes. I'm not your friend. So even at 27, I was like, ooh, just to tell her I was 27. I know. A whole career. But I was like, oh, mama gonna be so disappointed because I ain't married. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Like, okay, we're gonna have a conversation offline tonight. We got
about that. But it's because that's my mother.
Put it on the list.
Yeah, we got an after party conversation.
After party conversation. And let me just keep doing this real quick. Yeah, I so agree. Some of y'all need to join our after party conversations. They get real. One day we might invite y'all.
After party be raw.
Yeah, sometimes they be.
We violate FCC regulations
every time.
Over here, where's over here? My buddy right here violates FCC regulations. When she sits back on that couch and that chin go down and she cock her head to the side, she shake her head a little bit.
It's about to be
I know patterns. She holding it back. She's quiet for a reason. She quiet because she's trying not to get Heather kicked off, the internet.
I appreciate y'all. Doing that.
Off Al Gore's internet.
It's bad enough we have to deal with random penises showing up in our story.
I missed it. My internet was going.
I'm gonna have to play that for you.
You wasn't seeing nothing. Okay. You ain't missed nothing.
Itsy bitsy spider with
baby.
Let's move on.
No, look.
Okay, so this conversation they have with Wanda, it gets a little heated between Marceau and Wanda, which again, I have an issue with that. I honestly believe this is what I believe, and I'm gonna let y'all chime in a minute because I gotta get through all of this. Marceau and Wanda get into another argument, as they always do, or disagreement, whatever you want to call it. I call it an argument because it's never resolved. Disagreements usually come to a resolution. But anyway,
smart ass.
They get into it. There is a whole lot going on. Marceau, again, is talking about her boundary issues. you know, she starts deflecting and talking about why you take that sports car on that trip. Why you ain't take your work truck? And I'm like, it's a work truck.
Why does it matter?
Take your work truck to.
Well, don't you pay, Wanda?
Why does it matter which vehicle he took? I don't know.
Maybe that's how she could think.
She was setting up, alluding to the fact that he wasn't actually going on the trip. This was her setup. This is her slow pitching it over to her daughter, who takes the bait every time, talking about why you got to take this car, why you got to do this, and you know.
Because if you're going to hang out with your boys, sometimes you feeling that masculinity and you want to fly, and so you're gonna take your nice car. If he knows he is a construction, if he knows he's not going in the mud, and he knows that I can stop on a dirt road and my car is safe. That man knows his vehicles.
And these are people of means. That's what I always say. They're people of means. That's the last thing they worry about.
And established they was in somebody's backyard. So I don't understand what the problem.
Because they were glamping.
Nobody mountains, no hills, no woods. Somebody
was on those 47 acres, like we said. Right. But they get into the argument about that. You know, Marceau's still telling her how she interferes, and you know, I think you probably cut the lines on my brakes anyway. So they go back and forth with that. And then basically Wanda's talking about, well, I don't know what put in Ja, you done had your hand in anyway. So it's a lot of that going back and forth, which to me, I feel like that's when you have to stop the conversation from happening, when there's a lot of accusations going on. Nothing has been found to be true. It's not your place to say, even if it is true. You know, there are certain things, there are a lot of things she violated. But then also, you know, Marceau pretty much told, if you don't like it, you know, you can leave, because she says, well, you know, I came here to watch your kids. And I'm like, well, you're not doing a good job because you're bringing all these other children. Okay,
but then, she's a foster parent, I heard.
Listen.
And those are the foster kids.
Listen.
Yeah, well, then she says, you know, she didn't want him holding the door, which was silly. But then also she said, well, I tell you what, you can find somebody else to watch these kids. I'm like, you'll be back because you like that camera. So,
right. Listen.
And then that also spiraled them, Marceau and Tisha, into, you know, a conversation or an argument about, well, where were you? Why were you doing this? And, you know, and that's when he was telling her, you're going to let your mama contribute to you being a single parent.
That's
I said that 2 weeks ago.
House because he's sick of her ass.
I said that 2 weeks ago.
I'm so sick of her disrespect. Like, as an adult, you have to know the boundaries between your friendships, your, you know, sister, brother, mama, daddy,
work,
your family, your work, and your relationship.
Right.
You just got to know. And you're not going to keep on disturbing the peace. And I don't give a hot damn.
FCC?
Who you are. I'm sorry. I don't care who you are. You're not about to come in my house and disrespect my husband. I don't care if we ain't getting along. I don't care if you helping us do something. I don't care if you just stopping by for a cup of sugar. You not finna disrespect my husband, and you not finna disrespect me, because who paid the bills here is us.
Right.
So first of all, she need to have that conversation with her mama. You can talk all that noise you want to talk outside on that front lawn. I love you. I love you totally. I love everything you done ever done for me. But you're not gonna keep on disrespecting me and my husband in the house that we created. Period. I don't care who you are.
Period.
She needs to get, like, if you don't gather your mama up about nothing else, and gather your mama up about that.
About you. And in a way, and I think very softly, both Mel and Kimmy have tried to do that.
She don't listen.
But they won't be in your face. They're trying to, you know, soften it for her, which is how you have to come to Tisha. You have to go, but that's why both of them have taken their hands off, because they have done the work of trying to get her to see.
Right.
They're saying without insulting. I have never heard Mel or Kimmy insult Wanda.
Right.
They know that I'm not going to deal with her.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not, I'm done with this conversation. I'm not going to invite Wanda, but they have never disrespected her.
Right.
And
And
so
be in their space. She act a fool. Have you noticed
Yeah,
that
she
she ain't
does that.
never? They ain't coming to your space. They not coming into your
Yeah.
situation and causing no problems. But you always in somebody else's situation causing problems.
I never thought about that. You're right. You're right.
It's not about being disrespectful. It's just being you can have a conversation. Like I've had to have conversations with my parents about certain things. And I don't go to them disrespectful. I'm not cussing. I'm not yelling. I'm not rolling no necks. I'm not clapping no hands. It's just a mama, let me talk to you. Daddy, let me talk to you. And we have an adult conversation like a 43-year-old would have with a 65-year-old. We having that conversation. And she needs to understand it doesn't have to be disrespectful, but you're going to have to do it. You're going to have to. Because like that man said, you don't get tired of your mama.
Yeah.
And when
my thing is, how many more relationships do you have to abandon and alienate for the sake of your mama?
For one person.
If she's causing trouble with every relationship, then the common denominator is your mama.
I hate to
and I don't mean to be degrading to Tisha when I say this, but common denominator is beyond her realm of understanding.
I agree with you.
That's true. That's fact.
She doesn't understand common denominator. It's basic to all of us, the 5 women here, but there are other women who it's not, but she doesn't understand common denominator. But that's a key phrase in a lot of things. I can't remember somebody said something about me recently. And I said, you're the second person in a week to tell me that. And I said, if 2 people who do not know each other say the same thing about you, baby, that's you.
That's who you are.
But I accept accountability for yourself. That is a willingness to do a self-assessment. They don't understand self-assessment. When you look at that person in the mirror and and that person is disfigured, so to speak, you don't really want to conjure up the courage to get them back to where they're supposed to be. They don't understand accountability. They don't understand responsibility.
I love self-reflection.
It's always going to be your fault. Some kind of way they're going to spin it back around. What is right, wrong, and in between, and most of the time it is wrong. 10 times out of 10, it's going to be wrong. But to them, they have to spin it so that they can make sure, oh no, some kind of way I got to be the victim in this.
Yeah.
You don't understand accountability and responsibility. No. It's always the world against me. And that alludes from the fact that I'm miserable with shit, so I'm going to make you miserable too.
That's the self-awareness part.
A single parent. That's what she gonna do. You
I think, honestly, I feel like there is jealousy there because they have a family unit, and that's something that she maybe never had. I don't know. I'm not sure, but I think I remember in the first season they were talking about how Tisha was pretty much raised with her mom and her grandmother, but there wasn't necessarily a male role model. There wasn't necessarily a father figure all the time. And so I think that sometimes, even though some of these moms want the best, they seemingly want the best for their child, they also will self-sabotage and sabotage their child because they feel like, why are you getting everything I never had?
Yeah. Can I be for real for a second?
Okay. You said be real. Hold on. Do I need to go ahead and turn my camera off?
You might. But look. Okay. I'm gonna be good. I promise. I'm gonna take deep breaths and everything.
Are you? Look, I gotta get my Ray J glasses for you. Hold on. Go ahead.
I really feel like, and a lot of women are gonna be mad. I don't care, because it has to be said. There are so many women walking around with this strong, independent woman thing.
Oh, please stop. Please stop it.
Being strong and independent is your situation. because you didn't have a choice but to be that. Those were the cards that you were dealt. But at the end of every day, I don't care who you are, where you come from. At some point, you want to be soft, you want to be delicate because you are a woman. So when you get in a position where there is a man who is going to give you that, I'm going to need you how to turn the roar of a lion into the purr of a kitten, because being strong and independent all the time ain't where it's at.
Baby, don't make me go get my wallet. I need some dollars to
I'm going to need you to learn how to
She got cash up.
and let that man be a man. And when you see
Right.
somebody else with that man, I'm going to need you to take note and learn from that instead of girl, I wouldn't, and girl, and this and that. Because that's why your black ass by yourself.
let me go. I got some dollars.
We almost made it. Okay, go ahead.
I got some
I
dollars.
was good. I saved it to the end.
I got some change for the plate for you. Say it.
I
I
want
said
to
cash
take my
up
cake
industry.
off, okay? I
Don't
want
put
to
your
be
best
like
foot
here.
down.
Take all of this. Please do. So if you out there, come get me, boo. I'm waiting. You can be a man.
So let me ask you the other side of this, because you know this is what we do.
I
Some
love it.
people be soft and gentle,
Yes, be feminine, be a girl, be cute.
but some
Do
people,
that. Let them be that
never
man.
recognize their feminine energy. They shy away from it because it's been told that it's a weakness. So there are a lot of people who see that as you're being,
So
you know,
it's the-
anything, from even all the way up to subservient. Now, and I will tell you, you can still be strong and still be soft at the same time.
Yep.
Right.
Okay.
flip side.
Because I can't
So
wait to be strong and soft for somebody. Go ahead.
And black men, you know, conversely, black men can cry and express their feelings without being weak.
that's what I was about to say.
Exactly.
So it's the flip side.
Without being
Come
weak.
on, baby. We're going to cry together. We're going to watch every side of man, and we're going to figure this out.
Right. Right. I
Two
got you,
sides, the same coin. That's what I was about to say. He can have a place to lay his head and cry, and you can have a place to lay all that. I had to make the money for this long. I had to take care of the kids by myself. You can lay that
boo.
down.
Both
Lay
ways,
down
black
his
people.
sorrow. Yes.
Mhm.
You can have it
I'm
both
gonna
ways.
go ahead and blow up this here arrowhead.
I'm gonna say this right here. Slavery did a number on us. And I'm gonna leave it at that.
What
You
you
say
say?
what?
Slavery did a number on us.
It did. What it did is it taught us to be nothing like who we need to be and what we need to be
It taught us to
for
be
ourselves and for
survivors.
each other. And to, you know, like I saw something that was very poignant a couple of days ago. Somebody posted this up about how rest is important, and it is one of our ancestors' dream is to rest, because we always think you should be working all the time. And I think that goes back to even in relationship, that, you know, there has to be some rest in your relationship. And if I feel like I'm constantly working, you know, because people always say you're supposed to be constantly working at your relationship. Relationships should not take that much work that makes you tired as hell.
Right.
And
I'm tired.
you feel like you put in a damn 8-hour shift, because you gotta cut through all the stuff first
Mhm.
till you get to the softness, or till you get to the masculinity and all those things, whatever you're looking for. If it's doing that much work for you, if you're putting in a full ass 8-hour shift, like you working on the railroad and you pounding away at some steel, that ain't the relationship for you.
Right.
Absolutely.
We have been taught that those type of relationships, the toxic relationships that we all being mimicked on TV, are the ones that we should be working for. You know, this struggle love and all that bullshit, you know.
Looking for any.
I'm so glad, and again, another conversation. I'm so glad that struggle love has come to the forefront, that people are beginning to realize it is not normal.
No,
So, you know, that
a trauma bond.
We've gotten to the point where we are starting to realize that struggle love is not what you want. Thank you, John Gray.
You don't want struggle love and looking at somebody else's
Venture.
relationship to find
Right.
your
And
relationship.
that ain't your
Yeah.
couple goals.
Can we
Your
kill
couple
that,
What works for
please?
y'all works for y'all.
You and your partner.
Can we kill that, please? If you got to look towards somebody else's relationship to find what you want to mimic in yours, please understand you don't know what that couple went through to get
To get to that
where
point.
they are now, or if it's just looking good on the outside and it's a whole mess on the inside. Please stop it.
Exactly.
Right.
Okay. All right, y'all.
Exactly.
Let's go ahead and bring it up. Let's go and bring this up. So okay, we know that happened, and we know we can talk ad nausea about them, because not ad nauseum. I'm nauseated. But anyway, quick stuff here. Martell meets with Chris to talk about the 47 acres. It's on hold because of the divorce. We tired of that. They're at the hair event, and at the hair event, Mel was like, again, there was a sloppy invitation. The ladies are discussing, all these things as far as hair, and they say it was a pretty good event. They have all these things for little girls to do as breakout sessions, I'm guessing. The ladies come together to talk about a girls trip. Destiny, I don't know why she's throwing her hat in the ring, but whatever. She is talking about going to a retreat. So she and Kimmy seem to be getting along pretty good once they've kind of ironed out leave the chicken at home. Now they can actually talk about being friends, because child, if they talk one more time about that damn chicken, it probably ain't even good. But anyway, so at one point they're talking to Mel. Mel's like, "Hey, let's do a retreat. I'm on board. Let's do it." So they wait for Tisha to come, and she's like, "Who are gonna be there?" And I'm like, anyway. So they let her know, everybody that's sitting here, she want to know how long is it gonna be. Maybe she can do a day trip. And what I liked about what Destiny said is, don't say yes and then all of a sudden change your mind, because I already put money into it based off your yes. So I like that she's already holding her accountable to showing up. Anyway, in the confessional, whatever they call it, you hear Mel, Tisha saying Mel is a mean girl, but okay, sure. Mel then says, she's trying to move on, but it looks like Tisha's still kind of stuck. So at that point, Mel gets up and says, well, let me go check on the girls, so they can have an in-depth conversation with Tisha about what is her trepidation about wanting to show up to the thing. So Tisha says she wants to enjoy her time, and she don't feel like she should have to deal with any of the other stuff, all the mess that's been going on with them. So they decided that, how about, if the conversation arises, we have a safe word of sorts, so that we'll know if things are going too far. But the thing that Destiny is saying is that she wants them to find the reason why they connected in the first place as friends. And so at that point, Mel gets up and she asks Tisha to, let's go ahead and talk about reconciling and everything. Let's let bygones be bygones.
Yeah.
And they discuss they'll set aside the negativity, because Mel was saying, I'm kind of feeling a little shade from you. So, I would love to just kind of let things go as far as what they are. And then Kimmy and Destiny, while they're talking, was saying maybe we need to bring a professional into this retreat of sorts. And then they go on talking about, the things that they're doing, which is, the ambassador of Birmingham, the ambassador hosting the March on the Pettus Bridge,
So
Chamber
what
of
we're saying is
Commerce.
the only work
So that was that thing
this season.
So
I think that it's not going to be. It's Tisha don't know how to shut up and
No, she don't.
go. She always got to be the one to bring something up that everybody else is over, because she needs all eyes and attention on her. I just feel like she that middle child that didn't get the attention. So anytime she can bring up something to get that attention, she gonna do it, because what she said was uncalled for. If they're going to go on a retreat is for relaxation. It's for, togetherness and things like that. And the first thing out your mouth was, can I drive my own car? Broad, you can walk. How about that?
You know?
Like her. She her mother's child.
Look, I muted everybody. I heard a little bit of feedback, so I muted everybody. So unmute when you're ready to talk.
I wouldn't go. I'm Kimmy in the situation. If I know there's gonna be a bunch of drama, like I'm down to ride. I'm down to have a good time. I'm down to be that friend that's gonna be like, yeah, let's do this. Let's go. Let's have some fun. I need a break. I'm that friend. But I will tell you this: you can start drama if you want to, because I'm not gonna even say nothing. I'm just gonna ease up out of there. I'm gonna find me a quiet place. I'm gonna have a book. I'm gonna have a blanket, and I'm gonna be chilling. And I'm gonna let y'all hash that out, because I'm not gonna keep arguing with y'all about the same stuff, because I done said my piece. And once my piece has been shared with everybody, then I'm done with it. Like, I'm ready to move on. So that's
yeah. I have done that, and I think I'm lagging a little bit. I don't know if it's me or not, but I have done that on my own social media page. If there is a conversation, and I can start it, it can be my topic. But once I say what I want to say about it, I'm just expressing. I'm not looking for feedback all the time, not all the time. And so I leave people on my page arguing. I'll come in 3 days later and I'm like, oh, y'all still at it? Because like when I said what I said, I was done, and I will leave you sitting there. Like, I can be in a room full of 50 people in a busy, small, intimate space and be by myself and have a good ass time. I don't have to be around people and talking and engaging. So I would go and I'd bring my books and my music, and I would download 42 movies from Netflix, and I would bring, y'all know me, I'd bring all my own bubbles. And once it got to a point, I'm gonna bring my little laid back chair, and I'm gonna sit there and and I'm gonna let y'all have it. Like, cause I don't have to do it. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. Not at this stage of my life. I'm not gonna do it.
Not during Women's History Month.
No, not at all.
Not during Women's History Month, Don. Not during Women's History Month.
I feel like that this is not just a retreat that she then came up with. I really think this is a ploy to get Mel and Tisha back on the same page. That's what I really feel like it is. I think it's just like her and Kimmy has cooked up some little idea to get the girls back together. The problem with that is that they have to truly want to do that. You cannot make friends, friends fall out. I try not to get in the middle of the stuff. I just try not to, because it gets messy. It becomes a mess, and it's a whole big old drama-filled situation that can spiral out of control. So, and what I don't do, and of course, a lot of this happens with reality shows. Some of these people, they may know each other or know of each other, but they don't necessarily know each other like that. So they don't normally hang around each other outside of taping this show. So in some instances, that's not a relationship that needs to be salvaged, in my opinion. Like, I think, Heather, you said when we first started, you really feel like the husbands were boys, and Mel and Tisha just kind of hung out of convenience, and not that they had any type of relationship to build on. You know what I'm saying? So if that's the case, what are you salvaging and what are you trying to say? If it's to be cordial and respect each other and each other's boundaries, that's one thing. But to try to get a kumbaya situation going between these ladies, it's gone too far over the cliff for me to try to bring them back. I'm not saying, things can't happen, because I've seen things happen. I've seen people make up on the reality shows all the time. But you can only do so much, and you can only try. And because Mel has gone through this situation with Martell, I really feel like She doesn't want any extra drama going on. She's okay with that, and I'm okay. And I like that growth that I've seen in her because, of course, at first it kind of seemed like, you know, she was all for the drama. But I don't think she wants it. You know, she don't want the smoke at this point because she's going through the stuff that she's going through. And I think if you're not trying to help me navigate through this person, is not going to be there through this issue, and not going to be there for me as a friend, again, what are we trying to salvage? It just doesn't make sense to me.
Let me jump in and say, and I think that's the thing. Like, I know their kids get along, you know, and you want to make sure you make it work for the kids' sake because they have grown up together. I think that it's going to take a little bit more than a retreat to kind of get things going for them. There are some deep-seated issues. And like you said, when it first started, it kind of seemed as though Melody was trying to help Tisha kind of get herself established and actually find her voice because it seems like that's what she wanted. But then somewhere in the middle of that relationship, it went to being more of a started to get a little rocky because I don't think Tisha knows how to be a friend. I think that she finds one or two things that she likes about a person, and those same one or two things get on her damn nerves about you. And now she's going to use that against you. And you know, so I don't think that she's ever learned how to be a friend. And I didn't care for Melody last season. I told y'all I didn't care for Melody. I thought she was very, she came out very rude to me and very, you know, I was like, why aren't you pointing the finger at everybody else but your husband? He's the reason why you acting the way and why everything is, you know, blowing up that way. So, you know, I feel like a lot of blame can be, you know, had and passed out, given, distributed, mailed, FedEx, wherever you want to do. There's a lot of blame to go around. But I think that at some point, everybody has to be accountable for their part. And I don't think Letitia, as we said, I don't think she has that capacity. I think that she sees things one way and she's not willing to see things in another light. And that's going to, you know, sadly, that's going to be the cause for her to, you know, not have friends and to eventually, and I hope it doesn't happen, but it's going to cause problems in her marriage as well, because she's allowing this one person, her mom, to just, you know, do a lot of controlling everything. So anybody else I got about 2 more minutes on this one topic and then we'll move on to the last one. Yeah. Okay. All right, cool. All right, then. So the last scene of the evening, Martell, take these children to Marlene, honey. That's his mama name. I'm like, Marlene. All right, then. Take to her house. They're baking cookies and everything. And then the children go over to the side, which I like to see. The children left the room. And then they had grown folk conversation. So they start discussing the situation with the divorce. You know, mom is really upset. She's really hurting. And because she's always thought that they were going to be a thing together, you know, they wanted to build together and everything. Some of the things that Martell is upset about is he keeps saying, you know, the Melody keep telling them that I got a girlfriend, but she got a boyfriend. And the first thing come out of his mouth is blame. But anyway, mom is really hurt. You know, she's like, listen, Melody's hurt, you know, and I would be too. And so she's trying to explain to him from the woman's side, like, when you've been dealing with somebody like you, son, that's what she said, but she ain't say it. Then they probably, you know, then yeah, she's gonna find all kind of outlets, because his thing is she didn't have to take to social media, but you know, whatever. Then mom asked him about rumors about this baby, and he confirms that, you know, there's a baby coming. And you can see that her whole everything was hurt about the fact that not only did he step out, but he's also created another little life. You know, and she was like, I love Mel. I don't want to see her hurting. Mom breaks down because this is terrible. This is the first time I actually seen Martell show some type of emotion because he hurt his mom. And this was a real moment. You can tell that really got to his mom and that got to him. to see his mom hurting like that over their relationship. She was like, it's gonna be hard. It is what it is, basically. And basically telling him, well, you're a good man no matter what, but it's tough. And I love to see this particular scene because I feel like his mom is the right level of diplomatic. Like, you're my child, I love you, I've raised you to do right and everything, but I'm gonna tell you when you're wrong. And I'm not going to allow you to skate by and say all these things about somebody else when you caused it. Like, this was your doing. So I really like seeing that. But she also was telling them this whole thing. See, that was the thing. She said, I wonder what made him ask his mama, do you still love Mel? This is what I really think, y'all. And y'all can unmute whenever you're ready to. I think that because he asked that, he's expecting his mama to be on his side, and she is decidedly, solidly not on his side. She loves him, so she's on the side of right, as most people say, but she's not going to allow him to just, do and say whatever just because the sky is blue or, or whatever, just because, she birthed him. So I really like that. Y'all can come on and weigh in now. Just unmute when you're ready.
I think but she has always voiced that. She's always said, you mine, so I love you. I can't help but love you because you mine. But just because you mine doesn't make you right in every situation. Right. And she's basically told him that this entire time, like, dude, you need to get it together. That is your wife. Those are your children. You created this situation. Get it right. And so now I think it's just at the point now where she's just like, there is no turning back from this. You cannot turn this around because you have done the ultimate. Cheating is one thing, but creating another life in the midst of your cheating is something all the way different. Like, that's a whole nother level of what you've done. And now you're expecting this woman to come in and just be like, okay, well, we'll figure it out. Absolutely not. This ain't Fences.
No, ma'am.
What we doing?
No, ma'am.
Because this woman is in the place where she already has leverage. You have to understand, we ain't living in the times where we actually need you like that no more. When we got you there, that's because you're wanted. And she wanted you and she fought for you. But this right here, you done too much. You not gonna. How many times do I have to let you pee in my face, and you convince me that it's raining before I'm just gonna say, okay, stop pissing on me?
Right.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. And I do agree that Marlene is one. I wanted y'all to see this again. Marlene is the MVP of Reality Moms. That's the difference between his mom and Letitia's mom. She doesn't, first of all, this ain't her business to be in. This is just for her to give, her particular opinion on it because he asked for it. Mm-hmm. He asked her for, and they're having a real conversation. But not once have I seen her running off, saying anything to Mel. And she could talk to Mel because that's her mother-in-law. And she said, that's my daughter-in-law. I love her. And she don't mince words when it comes to Melody. So, they can have whatever conversation because still they have children together and everything. But she's not overstepping. And that's the thing. There's a difference between talking about things and then overstepping. And she does. I haven't seen her yet. I hadn't seen her overstep at all. Even last season, she was still talking about, only thing she had said, men gonna cheat, baby. Men are going to cheat.
But see, the difference is, last season. But you got to think about it. The difference is they brought those conversations to her. Right. She didn't make visits just to be like, okay, how many women's you sleeping with? I heard 20 women's. She didn't do that. Women. They brought those conversations to her. And once she said what they wanted to say, that's when she gave her account on the situation. Yeah. That makes a big difference because them 20 women's, is you really sleeping with 20 women's?
And his mom has said,
FCC, I'm sorry.
His mom said she went through the same thing herself. So as someone that has been through it, and that has grieved and probably gotten therapy and whatever help she needed, and had conversations with whoever she needed to have conversations with to get past the situation herself, she knows both sides of it.
Yeah.
So now she's lived that. She's wanted so much for him and his family not to have to live that. But now that they are in the midst of it, she has a trained eye. And she's not going to give him the easy way out.
Right.
She's going to make sure he understands this is the level of trauma you're causing.
Right.
This is what you're responsible for. This is what you need to probably do to try to make it better. But at the end of the day, she has a certain level of responsibility in it. She has to be able to find someone to talk to and share and grieve the process with. And then you and her are going to have to come to a point where y'all can sit down, talk about it, hash it out. You know, mom already knows.
Right.
Mom already, she's ready to help, but she's not ready to interject herself into the situation. And so I respect her for that, because she could have, you my baby, and she could have been ready to fight for him. But because she knows how it is to deal with this situation, she's not about to let you come over here and mama, and temper tantrum and kick and scream and pout. She's not going to give you that space, buddy.
Even Mel's mom, when she comes to visit, if you think about it, Mel's mom does more listening than she does talking.
Exactly.
To say what she has to say, and she'll empathize with her, but not once has she said anything against Martell.
She'll advise. She said, the last thing that she's ever said about Martell, she said, I lost a little bit of respect for him. That's understandable. You keep doing my child like that, I'm gonna lose respect for you too.
All respect, baby, going out the door.
Yeah. So I mean, that's very understandable. Like I said, I was on the fence about Marlene last season. I ain't know if I liked her or not from the couple of times that they, had these conversations. But I really like to see that, she is holding him accountable. All I like to see is accountability and reciprocity. So those are two big words for me. So seeing that makes me understand and know that it's necessary to have these conversations, and you can have respectful conversations with people's moms where they are actually advising, which is what you do at this age. You advise your child. You don't get in the middle of the conversation and be ready to put Vaseline on your face and put your tennis shoes on. No, this is their family. Let them figure that out. So I really did appreciate that. Anybody got anything else to say about it?
No.
Okay. So next week or Saturday, we're going to see more conversation regarding this here baby. The previews show that Melody is going to go over to Martell's mom's house and, finding out that Martell's having a little boy. And then there's going to be some other conversation, I guess, regarding these other topics. I'm interested to see what's going to happen with Jalen and Maurice about this whole being an entrepreneur thing, because child, I'm sick of him and this that
That's how I felt about that.
I got nothing. Anyway, how do y'all rate this episode?
I'm gonna say a 4.
Okay.
I don't even know how to rate these situations no more.
Okay, then. Well, that's what next.
I guess because I literally asked, what was it about this time?
Right. That's the problem right there. So no rating. Well, I mean, you know what? We finishing up, y'all. We headed to the end of all these. I can't wait till we can go on hiatus for a minute, because these shows have really done something to us.
Yeah.
But
they're taking us through there.
The outcome this season is going to be like where they end everything, so that we can decide if we're going to watch a season 3. And I know they had a whole lot of challenges this time because they literally had to stop filming mid-pandemic and then come back when it was safer to finish up the end of this season. So that's what we're seeing, because people thought it was a third season, and this is actually just the second half
continuation
season. So I'm just interested to see. I'm glad that Destiny is kind of, attempting to step up. I don't think we're gonna ever see this husband. I don't really want to. And so I just want to see, go and get to the end, because I want to see what's gonna happen with I think we all vested in this divorce too, in this 47 acres. So
I care less about that 47 acres. Jesus.
yeah, I'm so tired of hearing about them 47 acres. That's all they've been talking about since episode 1. So yeah, there's that. Anyway, so if y'all have all hearts clear, all minds clear. Yeah, all right. Nothing. All right, y'all. Well, we'd like to thank y'all for joining us tonight. The review crew, that's who we are. Thank y'all for joining us tonight. And we did talk today about Love and Marriage Huntsville. Join us Friday night. We'll be talking about Married at First Sight. We probably all gonna be slightly inebriated, because you kind of got to be.
I need some drinks.
That show. And we are going to give y'all our honest feedback regarding that particular show and episode. So stay tuned. Thank y'all for joining us, and we'll see you guys next time. Everybody say bye.
Bye.
End it.